Okay, behold, Spanish Wells. We are looking at the east end of Spanish Wells, and where you see this little sport fish coming out right there, that is the east entrance to Spanish Wells. Over there is, actually all of this stuff is Eleuthera, and then if you were to go out here and then all the way around this northern tip of Eleuthera, pretty much over the hill there, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 miles, that's Harbor Island way over there. But anyways, yeah, Spanish Wells. We have actually already made a trip into Spanish Wells today. We went in to fill up our diesel jerry cans, and we got our propane filled and all this stuff, and I took the camera with me. However, when I got it out to do some filming, I had forgotten to put the memory card in it. So yeah, that's how I roll. But we're about to make another trip over. Do some walking around, some exploring, probably some things that are arguably more interesting. Tambi is counting some coins. Yep. I have also kind of another update here, and this is kind of shocking actually. So brace yourself for this. Tambi and I are actually no longer sleeping together. Yep, it's actually gotten too hot, too humid, too sweaty. We just can't do that kind of thing anymore. So instead, Tambi sleeps in the V-berth, and I sleep separately out here on the settee. So yeah, no longer sleeping together. Sure. It's a little weird.
You tell them that was by your choice.
Yeah,
I did not kick him out.
No, she didn't kick me out. She didn't kick me out at all. It just reached a point. Pretty much the temperature at this point is like 85 to 90 degrees during the day, and it's probably hovering around 85 at night. The temperature does not change much, even when the sun goes down. So yeah, just after a few nights of just waking up in my sleep, just gasping for air, and the only air that's available to be breathed is this hot, humid cloud of body heat that just gets circulated around the V-berth, you know.
Off of you.
There's two bodies back there, honey. But anyways, it's just it's much cooler up here. So yeah, I've been sleeping up here on for the last 2 nights actually.
I've been fine.
Lots of fishing boats around here. These are some serious fishing boats. Atlantic Lady. And look at this nice yard. Oh my gosh. Honey, there's like a actual lawn. Holy smokes, are we still in the Bahamas? Yep. Is it good, Molly? Team's got water, and I got a Vitamalt. If you've never had a Vitamalt, if you're in the Bahamas, you need to grab a Vitamalt. These things are very interesting. Oh, Vitamalt, it's like if you mix a Guinness beer with a Coke, and then you crush a Flintstones vitamin in it. That kind of describes the flavor of Vitamalt. It's the bomb. Boats are just so cool. I guess this is some kind of big fishing trawler, I guess. Drag a big net behind those arms somehow. Is that what you think, babe? Is that what those big arms are for? I don't know, it looks like there's, I don't really understand. Look like there's two big kind of anchors up there. But I would imagine those probably aren't anchors. They probably, you know what those probably are? Maybe it's weights for the nets to kind of hold the nets, the bottom corners down in the water. What do you think? I bet there's some.
Arms go down.
Yeah, yeah. I bet there's somebody watching this video who can tell us what those are for.
I bet. Please tell us.
Why is he just standing in the corner?
I can't tell. I think this is a grouper of some kind. That's definitely a Nassau grouper. That thing's probably 20 pounds. This is a little mahi. There's a couple big lobsters down there. And then this guy over here, you can't really see it. There's a big shadow over there. That's probably a 4 foot long, 50 pound grouper over there, hugging the wall. This is just a pen with a bunch of fish and lobster in it. What the heck is this? Oh goodness, it's like a prison for license plates. License plates and shells. Now that's interesting.
Look at all the flowers made out of shells.
Oh, that is cool. Look at this this shell flowers back there with a mountain of crab pots in the background. These manicured cut sod lawns are just unreal to see here in the Bahamas. It's very striking to see that kind of thing. And here's another kind of trend that we've seen in Spanish Wells. Sponge painted concrete paths and patios. Interesting. Holy moly, this whole video is just going to be filled with people's front yards, but this is just so weird. Look at that grass. Okay, so we have found a restaurant. It is called The Generation Gap. And oh my goodness, look at the price of this hamburger, $5? Is that like a quarter of a hamburger? And they're not just telling us? I'll tell you what, the prices are just much, much cheaper here in Spanish Wells. Alright, we got onion rings. Tambi has a Tambi-sized hamburger. Molly has a Molly-sized hamburger. And I have a pulled pork sandwich. The Gap.
Yummy.
That was the most economical meal we've had since January. The prices have definitely changed here in Spanish Wells. They much more closely resemble U.S. prices than anywhere else we've been in the Bahamas so far. Isn't that right, honey?
That is correct, dear.
This is Poppa Scoops. Poppa's Scoops. Flavors tonight: coconut and Oreo. Price list for sale. Open Sunday nights after church. Serving Springs.
It's delicious.
Looks good, Molly.
Not bachelor.
Oh man. Very good. Poppa Scoops. This is what Tambi was most excited about Spanish Wells for. Was that ice cream cone right there. Is it as good as you thought it'd be?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Alright, I'm headed back to the boat, right ladies?
Yep.
Right. Holy crap, look at that grass! Alright, we're saying goodbye to Spanish Wells. Goodbye, Spanish Wells. We were only at Spanish Wells for how many days? Just one day. Stopped in there, refueled, got water, got some groceries, went to Papa Scoop's, ate at the Gap restaurant, and that was pretty much it. And then got out of there. The trouble with Spanish Wells is there's just not any good anchorages around here. So that's as far as how we rank places that we like to visit. The quality of their anchorage and the level of protection and security that the anchorage provides is a major factor. And Spanish Wells is very, very, very lacking on good anchorages. So we're not going to spend too much time with Spanish Wells. Now we're heading to, we're either going to go back to Royal Island or we're going to go to this place called Egg Island, both of which are uninhabited. And we're pretty much just going to stage over there and quite possibly either tomorrow or the next day cross over to the Berry Islands. We are headed back home, basically. I mean, we're definitely headed back in that direction. Still got a couple places we want to see in the Berries, but we're making tracks now. We're kind of trying to get out of here before the weather gets too serious concerning hurricanes. Yep, kind of feels weird that we've turned the corner. We're actually headed back home now.
Where is he?
Thank you.
Okay, so we have decided that we are going to make a run for the Berry Islands tomorrow. We're gonna go ahead and go. Looks like a good weather window, should be somewhere between, you know, 10 and 20 knots. We've got 55-ish miles, maybe a hair more than that. If we head for kind of the northern end of the Berries, or closer to 50 if we aim for the middle. Gonna get an early start and maybe get there around, you know, early afternoon. Maybe should be maybe a 10-ish hour trip. We've got the lifelines connected, got the main sail cover off, halyards are already run and ready to go, got the dinghy up and the motor up. This is kind of strange because we don't get those up anymore. I've got the dinghy like double secured back there, so basically if one of the davits were to fail, the dinghies would still hang back there, although it would kind of be a mess. We're not going to talk about that. Got the cockpit cleaned and ready to go. Sheets are in place, ready to be used. I think that we are ready to sail. Little side note, we actually lost our prop shaft zinc somewhere on the ICW. Didn't realize it until we got to Bimini, and haven't been able to find a shaft zinc until Spanish Wells. So got a new shaft zinc installed. I don't know how to say. What else? Say something interesting. And
I've got noodles cooked for lunch tomorrow.
oh, excellent. Good forethought. Good planning.
I never feel like cooking while we're underway.
That's a nice high carb meal for a bunch of hungry sailors.
Yep.
Good thinking.
We have a little bit of cheese here. Have cheesy grits for breakfast.
Now that sounds good. Are you going to take a little Dramamine tomorrow before we go?
Yes, I think so.
You remember what happened when we were going from Hatchet Bay to Spanish Wells, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys were incapacitated. They're gonna take like 1/8 of a Dramamine tablet. Like one tablet, Tambi will be like asleep. Half a tablet, you know, she's awake, but she's still useless. So we're gonna try 1/8 of a tablet, just a little. Molly is going to try taking, I don't know, maybe 1/64 of a tablet. What do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I am learning how to swim.
Yeah, you are doing very good swimming.
I jumped in out my floaties and my mask, snorkel, fins today. Off the boat.
I'm so proud of you for learning how to swim on this trip. That's good. You're doing good.
Birthday.
Now, the real test is someday, and I'm not going to tell you exactly when, it's going to be a complete surprise. I'm just going to grab you and sling you over the boat, and you're going to have to swim, okay?
We'll see about that.